Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Now this is possibly the best thing I've ever looked at on the channel, certainly the most exciting for me in a creative standpoint, as well as something that I hope you'll really enjoy as well. So from Anki, the creators of Overdrive, I bring you Cozmo. This little guy is a robot that's got a mind of his own, a one-of-a-kind personality that evolves the more you play with him. It'll constantly nudge you to play and keep him entertained, and that in turn allows you to play different games with him and expand his knowledge and fun that you can have with him. Now Cozmo is made up of over 300 parts, which when I read I thought was absolutely ridiculous. Now what I want to do with this video is put more of an emphasis on the Code Lab, which is a new feature that they've brought out in an update. But I'm going to also take you over some features before we get to that shows you the functions that you could expect from Cozmo on a day-to-day basis. So Cozmo is a very rugged robot. He will be drop proof if he does fall off a desk. He has a sensor underneath though that tries to prevent that, but you know occasionally it can happen anyway. But he is a tough cookie, so he will survive, no worries. So he likes to wander about your desk or wherever you're playing with him. He uses 4 motors and over 50 gears to move around. Anki say this is kind of like a mini Mars rover. Now he uses a 30 FPS VGA camera with facial recognition software to help him remember interactions and what's around him. He's also got loads of different animations on his screen as well, which shows you just what kind of mood he's in and what he's up to. Now for potential parents that are going to buy Cozmo, security is obviously going to be an important factor. As you know, you're obviously having your children looked at by a camera. Now Cozmo creates his own Wi-Fi network and never actually goes online when using the app. Now Cozmo will act as a Wi-Fi point connecting to your device and not to the internet. And then that pairing just between your device and Cozmo means that nothing will be shared and everything will be stored locally on the app. To be even more specific, the Wi-Fi network and conversations with the Cozmo app are both separately encrypted. So the first game I'm showing you here is one called Keep Away, which is literally clues in the name. Keep the cube away from Cozmo as he tries to get it. When he manages to tap it, it will light up and he will get a point. And then when you manage to keep it away, you'll gain a point. And then if he wins, this is what you'll hear. And if he doesn't win, well, that's another matter, which I'll show you in a minute. Now as we go through the video, just bear in mind I have turned the volume of Cozmo down a little bit just because I had peaking issues if I had him loud. He does have 3 different volume settings available, so obviously if you're playing later at night you can turn him down. So because I've got him quieter, you will hear more of the motor noise. When you have him louder in a normal scenario, the sound of the motors is a lot less noticeable. So the next game here is Quick Tap. Simply match the colours together but never do it on red. Cozmo is really quick at this game. I actually struggled to beat him on a few occasions where I wanted to get his reaction when you actually beat him, which is this. So he does sulk when you beat him. That is actually quite painful to watch, so I do let him win every now and again. I say let him win, he just beats me. Now you also have to feed Cozmo as well to keep his stats up, as well as play with him. Now this is him being fed. Just like me after a coffee. Now one of my other favourite things is the ability for him to say your name or any phrase that you like. Here's an example. Now we'll say that every now and again once he's recognised your face, and that's programmed into the app, which I think is just really nice, a little bit of interaction. You can add lots of people on there as well, which is also great. So you have these targets to achieve every day, so you're playing with him, do some little bits of maintenance and also feed him. Keep these goals up and you get extra sparks, which allows you to trigger different tricks he can do or even different games. One thing I really like is if he does fall onto the floor and he's upside down, he can flip himself over, which I think in itself is just awesome. Now let's take a little look at the Code Lab, which is a recently introduced update to the app. So this update brings even more functionality to what already exists with the Cozmo app. I'm going to run you through a few of the different features that they offer before we take a look at the actual coding side and what you can actually make for yourself. So this first one we got here is Cozmo sneezing. Now all of these you can actually have a look inside at the code as well, which is pretty cool. This one's pretty cool, it's called Orchestra. Pretty much a cube brave though, I actually really like this one. Something that could be implemented maybe in a future point would be playing music from your phone in the background as well, and he kind of dances to that, that'd be pretty good. This one's a fire truck, so literally we'll count down from 10 to 1 and then go into full fire truck mode. And then this one will turn Cozmo into pretty much a magic 8 ball, so he'll give you an answer to a question, maybe something like, if I was to ask my crush out, would she say yes? So on the app, if we go into the lab, we can see the sandbox mode, which allows us to create our custom animations and effects. So after we go through the tutorial, it will give us different options with basically every single function that Cozmo has to offer. It works on a kind of timeline system, so you start at the very left, go to the very right. Anything you put in there can be changed with different effects. For example, here I've got moving forwards, then moving left, moving right, and then going backwards. This is something that you can play around with for absolutely hours. You can set speeds for rotation and forward and back, and the lift heights and animations on his face, and literally everything. It's a nice simple interface though, something that I could definitely get behind and spend some time in, make something truly custom. Here's something I threw together just to show you what you can make. So if that was too easy for you, this is the really detailed section that, to be perfectly honest, went totally over my head. This is something I'm going to have to learn and spend, decent time to kind of fully understand. This is going even deeper in the rabbit hole of the coding that you can do with Cozmo. You can even program the LEDs on the back of him. So much in there. Definitely something you need to read up about. Here are a couple of other programs that are pre-made on the Code Lab. This one's a workout, so literally lifts it up and down. This does appeal to me being a gym goer. Get those reps in Cozmo. And this second one is one that uses facial recognition, so basically you control your face, and then when it lands on the mark you smile, and then it gives you a point. That's quite a good one. If you want to have a look at the coding for this, this is where you can see why, for me, this is going to take a little bit of time to understand. This is literally an eighth of the code that goes into this program, so definitely something to learn there. So trying to sum up Cozmo in a whole is just really, really easy. This is the best gadget I've looked at by far on the channel. I'm really looking forward to having a play about with the software and get kind of really in depth and into the nitty gritty of it, just to see what I can create. Hopefully there'll be some way of seeing other people's projects on there. I think that would be really cool. Also, some little things you might want to know. It charges on a base plate that's powered by USB, so you can just use your USB wall outlet to charge him, or even the external battery works as well. That's how I've been powering him for most of my review. The LED cubes use little batteries that are easily available. They're very cheap to pick up on Amazon, which is always good. Now there is a lot to cover with him, obviously, because there's so many different features and games that you can play with him. If you do have any questions, please let me know in the comments box below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I've really enjoyed doing this one, something totally different to what I usually look at. Definitely a nice change for me in terms of editing and creating the review, and hopefully something different that you've all liked as well. So if you want to get yourself a Cozmo, we'll put the links in the description box below. A big thank you to Anki for sending this out for me to review. If you haven't already subscribed, do it! Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.